Medic 1, Engine 1, Medic 2, Clint 2, Rescue 5, Chief 6. Structure fire south of the intersection at Kentucky and West 14th Street. Getting secondary reports that the entire front of the house was fully engulfed. Units en route, 1400 block of Kentucky.
Being in a fire and being trapped in a fire, you realize there's no way out. There's nothing you can possibly do. And it goes so extremely fast. My name's Brianne Goldston. I'm from Cheney, Kansas. It's a small town in south central Kansas. No stoplights. I was watching TV with my roommates, discussing whether we were going to go out or not because it was a Friday night. And I said I wasn't going out because it was Friday the 13th, and I'm superstitious. Went to bed around 1:30 in the morning, went to sleep, and the next thing I remember is waking up to Nora screaming my name, call 911. The fire was on her front porch, and I was sleeping, and my roommate upstairs was sleeping, and my other roommate was in the back of the house, farthest away from the fire. None of our fire alarms went off, so we had no idea, and a party bus drove by and saw that our porch was in flames, and these 5 guys got out, and they ran to the back of our house, and they were yelling that our house was on fire, and she was like, what? And she ran to the front, saw the flames, so she starts screaming, just the most panicked, crazy, loud scream, and screaming, call 911, and that's what I woke up to. So I ran down the stairs, halfway down the stairs, and I see her standing there, like, waving at me, screaming, and flames behind her, and I knew still that the fire alarms hadn't gone off, and I knew my roommate up on the 3rd floor had no idea what was going on. So I turned around and I ran up to the 3rd floor and started pounding on Nicole's door. She finally opened up the door, and I just grabbed her and started pulling her down the stairs. We got to the 2nd floor, and then we started to go down the staircase to the 1st floor, and we just stopped. We hit a wall of smoke. The fire had already spread to the staircase, and we couldn't get out. I kept trying to get closer, and it was like the heat was just covering my whole body, burning my face, singeing my face, and it was just a black wall of smoke you couldn't see, and every time I breathed in, the back of my throat burned, and the smoke was just filling up my lungs, just burning, and we just couldn't physically move forward. We couldn't breathe, so we had to turn around. I turned around and started shoving her back up, and we had to go up just to try to find some oxygen up higher. So I thought, I saw the fire start in the front, I could go to the back of the house, and I opened up the door, and this fire and smoke had already traveled under and had gone into the bathroom, and it blew out at me and kind of blew me backwards, and I started coughing at that point, and I couldn't see anything more than an inch in front of me. The whole house was in flames. It engulfed the entire house, and there was no escaping it. Both my exits were cut off. I couldn't get out downstairs. We couldn't get out onto the roof. At that point, I was coughing so hard, and my eyes were burning even though I couldn't see anything just from smoke singeing them. My throat was on fire, my lungs were on fire, and I was just like, I'm gonna die in this fire, there's no way out. And I just have to find Nicole. Maybe she found a way out. Maybe we'll at least die in here together or something. And I won't be suffocating here in the hallway alone. And just, I remember finally seeing her and like her leg go out the window and being like, running to it and just kind of getting a little bit of air, and that was gone out of my mind again. I was like, all right, this is my way out. I need to do something. But for a second, it was almost like I just didn't think there was another way out. I was just like, this is what's gonna happen, and it's crazy. And then as soon as I saw her, I knew I had another way out, and I was, I guess, revived. I was like, I can do this. I'm gonna live. It'll be fine.
In the fire service, we recognize smoke and oftentimes refer to it as black fire, in the sense that as material burns, it's not the material itself that's actually burning. It's heated to the point where off gases at the right temperature will ignite those gases, and you get a flame above the surface. The smoke is being produced during the fire. It's heated by the fire, so it's very, very hot. It's buoyant. It travels quickly through a structure.
When you're in the fire and it's so extreme how quickly it moves. It's so extreme how hot it is. It's so extreme how horrible the smoke is that you can't possibly picture it whenever people are telling you that. I had never thought what would I do if there was a fire? I just always thought if there actually was one, I'm sure I could get out a door. I never expected a fire of that magnitude. In the way Hollywood does it, they make it seem like you can run through a fire or run around a fire, and that's not at all anywhere close to the way it is. The smoke's just as hot as the flame, and it burns you just like the flames do, and it goes into your lungs that hot, and it singes the back of your throat, and it singes the inside of your lungs, and your whole body's burning, and it takes away all your oxygen.
With all these gases intermixed and waiting for that right air gas mix, and then the introduction of a flame to cause or light it on fire. Well, the house is a container, the smoke is causing the pressure is building. Well, it's starting to get to that point where the air fuel mix is right, and all of a sudden it'll light off. And so smoke is flammable, it carries the same heat as the fire, and that's why we call it black fire.
You don't realize how fast it moves, and you don't realize that the way it can move, the way it can be in the front of the house and in the back of the house within 50 seconds and miss a middle room, you can't get out once it's there. And it just takes seconds to consume everything. If you don't have a plan and you don't know that's there, you don't have time to think what would be the best way or open up every single door and try to find a way out. You can't ask somebody, well, why didn't you take the best exit whenever you were trapped in a fire? It's just you take the nearest one, the first one you see, just whatever you can do to get out of there because you're panicking and you don't have time to figure it out. In retrospect, it was probably 2 or 3 minutes. It seems so much longer, and that's the craziest part about fires. I think the scariest part about them now is just how fast everything just went up in flames.
Douglas County 911, what is the address of your emergency?
South of 14th Street on Kentucky, there's a house on fire, the front porch.
Okay, can you tell me the exact house address?
I got to get these people out.
Douglas County 911, what's the address of the emergency?
This house is on severe. It's severe.
Okay, what's on fire?
Probably 4 porches on fire. It's a terrible
The
fire.
porch is on fire?
There's a house, a big house on fire on the 1400 block of Kentucky, all blaze, and there's people. They're dragging each other out.
All right, sir, we're getting people on out there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty bad. Is anyone inside? Hey, is anyone inside? Everyone's out. Everyone's out.
The best fire safety is prevention, being proactive. And so when we look at proactive type behavior, we're talking about safety with candles, making sure that when you leave the room you extinguish it, or that if you leave the property you extinguish it. Not cooking while you're tired or under the influence, keeping an extinguisher, charge extinguisher in the kitchen. And then there's smoking safety, preferably smoking outdoors, taking your finished cigarette or the butt and putting it on a wide, stable container, not smoking while you're tired or under the influence, and not smoking while on upholstered furniture. Porch furniture is huge in a lot of communities. You can't have overstuffed indoor furniture on them. You're limited to strictly outdoor furniture.
Maybe we would have woken up a little bit earlier or woken up without those guys pounding on the door if the fire alarms in the house were going off. And that's one of the scariest parts to me, is that they didn't go off.
Smoke detectors are really critical in a building. They're really the first line of defense in terms of safety within buildings. They provide early detection, and it'll sound and hopefully either alert you to the fire, or if it's at night and you're sleeping, awaken you and give you an early opportunity to get out and make notification. The most effective is fire sprinklers. That serves to either put the fire in check and hold it in one location until help can arrive or fire units can arrive, or it may even extinguish the fire. And overall damage to the property is minimized.
Plan out their escape routes, and it doesn't take more than 5 minutes. Walk around the house, see if there's a ladder coming out or some kind of escape route, because chances are if there's a fire in the middle of the night or how fast they move, a lot of your exits are going to be blocked off. So just think about if every exit you think of is blocked, what would be your other way out?
It's easy to know one way in and know one way out. So when you enter a home or enter a business, whatever the case may be, take time to look around and look at alternate exits. if you have multiple stories. If you can't get to the first floor to get out, what's on the second floor? What's available to you on the third floor?
I guess in hindsight, if we had even taken 30 seconds to walk around the house once and think about what would happen if we were trapped upstairs, we would have seen that there's a ladder from the third floor coming out of a window. You don't think, I'm going to try to go up higher to a third floor. That just seems like a farther jump, especially since we didn't know there was a ladder back there.
A key with doing fire drills in the home is not only knowing multiple ways out and having a plan for your family or your roommates, but it's also getting outside and having a place to meet. It's critical not to ever return to a burning house. It's human nature to want to save items that are important to us, that have some type of sentimental or intrinsic value, but it's not worth your life. Objects can be replaced, lives cannot.
It's not worth it to die or to lose everything you own, like what happened to us. It's not worth it. This is how people die in fires.